Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Goaltending, where your why is bigger than your excuses. Today, we're talking about something that tests every competitor, every achiever, and really every driven person at some point in their journey, and that's injury. Straight up, topic is here because I'm battling an injury myself right now, and my wife just joined the injury battle a couple days ago with the injury of her own. And being a couple months into my injury now, and definitely it's a reminder of the mental battle and the struggles that come along with a physical injury. So whether it's a torn ligament, a chronic pain, a broken bone, a recovery that's taking longer than expected, it impacts and hits a lot more than your body. And we recognize that. I've had people on the show who have talked about it before, and I really just wanted to be a little vulnerable, share pieces of like what I'm going through and what I'm thinking about and learning as I'm going through recovering from this injury myself. Now, I don't know exactly what my injury is. I don't have a definitive diagnosis. Possibly just bursitis in my hip, some inflammation in the basically the fluid sac between a muscle and a bone in my hip. But it's been causing like just ongoing pain daily, and it impacts the way that I feel, the way that I'm able to do things. And so just started physical therapy about a week ago, and really happy to be taking that step in the journey. But first I just want to talk about how when we're fighting through an injury, it's a whole lot. Like you're more than just a body. Like we're more than just this physical appearance that people see. Like we have a soul and a mind and a heart, and these things impact everything else. And so just that injury, that physical injury, it impacts the rest of our being. So when your body takes the hit, it's easy to spiral into thoughts like I'm falling behind, or all of my progress is gone now, or just I'm not myself anymore, especially if you're someone like me who strongly identifies with being a athlete or a physical person, right? And so this is where you need to reframe it. Your worth isn't just what you do physically. It's in who you are when it's hard to move forward. And so think about that. This is an opportunity to redefine who you are. You're more than just that physical presence. And so your identity can't be tied only to output. It has to be rooted in character. And right now, if you're going through injury, that character is being redefined, right? But you get to write the narrative. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm using this as an opportunity to go through like the struggles that I'm going through, how I'm thinking through and working through the process, delivering that in a way that can help other people going through the same thing. So here's a step, something to do. Change the metric. All right, what things were you measuring, right? Like I talked about measuring in my last episode. What were the things that you were measuring for progress prior to injury? It might have been pounds lifted or miles logged or workouts completed, like these type of things, right? Especially if this is like, if you're a physical person, this is very physical in nature, but there's also just things in life that you were able to do physically that you have to modify or cannot do now, right? So you have to change the metric in which you define success, or really define like your progress. And so now, like for me, now it's about showing up to physical therapy consistently, like on schedule, on time. I'm 100% there for physical therapy. Whatever they're giving me for mobility or for exercise to do in between sessions, I'm making sure I do those things 100%. It's also an opportunity to change the metric to, am I getting enough sleep? So like I've talked about sleep a lot throughout different podcast episodes, especially as I was going through training. But still, even with knowing how important sleep is, we don't get it all the time. There's still times that the sleep gets sacrificed. But during this period of recovery, I know how important that sleep is to effective and proper and efficient recovery. And so I'm making it an even higher priority. So now that is something that I measure progress and success with, is like more sleep, fueling your body for recovery. Like, am I getting enough protein to give my body what it needs? Am I getting enough macronutrients to give my body what it needs for fuel and to help it recover? And then just not spiraling mentally, like when you can't do what you're used to, right? So by keeping your thinking on track in a positive manner and focusing on the right things, right? All of those things are still progress. You're just having to change the route on the path on your journey, right? The path has been modified in some way, like a tree fell or something where you can't drive through now. You have to figure out a different route because you still have somewhere to go. We just adjust the route. So now what? Now we rewrite the narrative. You're not starting over. You're just building smarter and from a different place. You're not set back. You're set up to learn new things, right? It's just those small transitions in the way that you think about it. So it's a chance, really. It's an opportunity, and you can focus on some different things now. Some of the stuff that we just talked about, you can focus on things like breath work. So regardless of what's injured, unless it's your lungs, breath work. You can focus on doing breathing exercises and really improving the way in which you allow oxygen to come in and out of your body, and do some powerful breath work, which is really a great benefit. So when you get back to where you can exercise again regularly, or as regularly as possible after this injury, that breath work is huge. It's a critical piece of your foundation, right? So that's something you can focus on now. Mobility, at least to the best of your extent. Mobility is going to be something that motion is something that can help through the recovery process to gain a range of motion back through whatever body part is injured, but also mobility for the rest of your body to prevent any other injuries from occurring. So mobility in general, it's an opportunity to work on your mental resilience, your mindset, the way in which you think about things, the way in which you can shift your mindset and understand that just because you think something doesn't mean it's a fact, right? The sleep schedule, once again, something that you can focus on, that you can get better at. And so it's also opportunity. Look, if you were spending a lot of time exercising, if you were spending in that and you can't do it now, how can you productively repurpose that time towards something of value, towards something of meaning, right? You can give it to time with family and friends. You can give it time to creating value towards something else that you care about and value. So there's a lot of things that you can do with that. But here's the big step, the important thing. And this goes with really just about anything in life when it comes to productivity, when it comes to purpose. Focus on what you can control. So you might not be able to run right now, but you can still strengthen your upper body. That's my case. Like I'm staying away from running. I'm not doing leg days because I don't want to. I don't know exactly what is causing the pain in my hip. It might be bursitis, but whatever it is, trying to do strenuous exercises on it or putting a lot of impact on it is not going to help, right? So I'm staying away from running right now, but my upper body's fine. We're good up here. And so I'll do things that allow me to still exercise and work my upper body at least 2 to 3 days a week, and then focus on mobility and recovery and rest on the other days. You might not be able to lift at all, but you can focus on the nutrition piece. Like the nutrition piece is extremely critical and important. If you're not able to exercise, you don't need as much fuel as you normally do. So you might need to take your macro intake down a little bit. But if you're recovering from something, you also need to make sure you're getting plenty of protein. In many cases, you would up your protein intake to help through recovery. You might not be able to train, but you can do other things. You can train your mind. You can read. You can reflect on things that you've done, what you learned from experiences. You can just focus on that mind growth, right? So control those controllables, and the mindset ultimately builds your long-term grit. It's not just about the temporary gains. And so when you come back from this injury, you're coming back with an even stronger mindset to be able to attack any goal that it is you're going for. And that leads right into the last thing of the comeback. It starts with the mind. Every comeback story starts with that decision, not in the gym, but in your head, in your mind, that you're not done. You won't be defined by this. You'll turn the pain into purpose. So you might be on the sideline right now, but there's still a lot of work that you can do that matters. And your effort still counts. So your comeback can inspire more people than your highlight reel ever could. When people see people come back from an injury, from a challenge, from adversity of any kind, that's the story that people admire, that people root for, right? So be that story. Change that narrative for you. Adversity doesn't stop the progress. It reveals the kind of progress that you really needed. If you're in a season of injury, here's your takeaways. Take a few minutes, ask yourself these questions. What am I still capable of doing? Don't focus on the things you can't do. Focus on what you can do. So for me, like where I would exercise regularly, I am modifying my training plan. But instead of focusing on what I can do, like, all right, what things am I good to do without aggravating my injury? I'm going to do those things. I'm going to make sure that I plan those in. I can do mobility things. I can do upper body. I can do all of those things. So think about, what are you capable of doing? List those things out. How can I reframe this season? It's an injury season, but how do I reframe it for purpose and growth? We're shifting, especially like if you're normally a physical progress oriented person, we're going to shift. We're going to reframe this season to where purpose is something else. Like the main purpose, the main growth, the main progress that we're trying to make is focused towards something else. What is that for you? And then what mindset do I need to bring into recovery? What kind of mindset is that for you? Because being down on yourself, focusing on what you can't do, allowing the changes in your routine and your schedule, everything that you have to adapt and modify, allowing those things to impact you in a negative way doesn't help you at all. So think about the mindset that you truly need in order to get through this season. And remember, the setbacks don't cancel your why. The why is still there. You just have to refine it. You have to refine it for the new situation. So I want you all to take that away. If you all are inspired by this, if you have a friend, a family member, a coworker, anybody that's going through an injury or in this place, make sure you share this with them. It will truly help. And then make sure you go like, subscribe, comment with your thoughts and questions. I'd love to hear how you are working through, fighting through, battling through whatever season you're in, but especially if you're in that injury season. Drop it in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. Join the conversation and let's grow.